I know he started it. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the May 13th Long Hill Township Committee meeting. Actually, Megan, please read the statement of presiding officer.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting, specifically the time, date, and public call-in information were included in the meeting that was electronically sent to the Morris Review and posted on the township website. The agenda and public handouts for this meeting can be viewed online on www.longhillnj.gov. A public comment period will be held in the order it is listed on the meeting agenda. Failure of the governing body to provide a live broadcast of this meeting or technological problems encountered during the meeting that affect remote viewing and/or participation will not invalidate this meeting or any action taken, including but not limited to the adoption of any ordinance, resolution, or motion.
That's the best reading ever. Well done. Meeting is called to order. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Megan, please kindly take roll.
Committeewoman Fettis will not be joining us tonight. Committeeman Liberato.
Present.
Committeeman Verleza.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Here.
Mayor Paserchia.
Present. Item number 4 on the agenda, meeting is open to the public. Please, if you could, remarks and statements pertaining to agenda items only. Try to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
I have no comments to make about Resolution 26-125. Which is the introduction of the 2026 municipal budget. And the reason I have no comments is because I can't find any details anywhere. There is a one-page summary, which is apparently all that the public is allowed to know with regard to the introduction. But I looked on the website, and there is nothing there in terms of the 50 pages that normally backs up the municipal budget. So I have no comments to make, but as fast as I can get a copy of the complete budget, you'll hear from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Any other members of the public in the audience?
Hi, Michael Pavlo. I'm here with my wife, Debbie. My question is, I have comments about the potential rooster agenda item. Is the comment for that now or after that's discussed? I looked at the agenda and it looks like it's further down on your list of items for tonight.
Again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only on for discussion, so yes, please.
Now would be
Yes.
good. Okay, so I had sent an email earlier. Did all the committee members get a chance to read it? I sent it late last week.
Yes, sir. I
Should I if you haven't had a chance, should I?
Feel free to.
Okay, I'm just going to read it as quickly as I can.
Or summarize it if you want to get to the key points.
Okay, so the reason we're here is because we have a neighbor that has a rooster, and it's become very disruptive to our health because of a lack of sleep. It wakes us up every morning between 4:30 and 5:30, and quality of life, it doesn't, my experience with roosters is like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons where the thing comes up and goes back. This thing crows all day long. And I did some research, and I really can't find any other town in New Jersey that allows chickens but doesn't ban roosters. For example, neighboring towns, Chatham bans all chickens, including roosters. Berkeley Heights the same. Warren allows hens with limits, like how many you can have depending on your acreage, but also bans roosters. Basking Ridge and Bernardsville ban roosters in residential areas. And of course, I couldn't look at every single town in New Jersey. Like I said, I didn't find any other town that allows a chicken coop but doesn't ban a rooster. Our presence here is to respectfully ask that you consider instituting a rooster ban.
Not that it matters. I apologize. It was in your email. What's your address again?
We live at 539 Chestnut.
Gotcha.
And I mentioned this in the last meeting, by the way.
Yes, you
That's
did.
where it came up.
No roosters.
Yeah.
And I think it is in the,
I think it's in there.
Okay, so you know.
I was fit to be taught.
Yeah.
You can't sleep.
No.
It's disruptive, it's to the entire neighborhood.
Yeah, and there's no mitigating it. Yeah.
Windows closed, you hear.
Oh, absolutely. It was all
That's
winter.
totally unfair. I'm sorry you're going through it.
Well, I appreciate that, and we have actually had a Mother's Day party, and we had friends and relatives, and they hear it, and they're like, is that a rooster? We're like, yeah, you're not hallucinating. That's a rooster. Like, when does it start? Does it wake you up? We're like, yeah, it wakes us up at like 4:30 every morning. So that's why we're here, asking that you consider instituting a rooster ban. I think after 29 years in the township, it's rare that we complain about anything. We're so pleased with living here. We're so happy. But this, we just couldn't ignore it anymore.
This draft ordinance prohibits roosters.
What draft? The one that's going to be discussed today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
yeah, but I'm glad you explained it. By the way, the irony is, I hear what you're saying. I'm a Jersey City boy.
Yeah.
So hearing a rooster, we live next to Hillview Farms, and a rooster crows or whatever it's called in the morning, and then shuts up the rest of the day. I don't know.
Not this one.
I don't.
Not this one. This
But
one
that
is
doesn't
incessant.
change- That doesn't change
Right.
what is being proposed.
Right.
It specifically says, shall keep no rooster.
No roosters.
Oh, you mean the one that you're
The
gonna?
one we're gonna.
dis-
Discuss.
Beautiful. So I stole your thunder maybe a little bit
But
because
in terms of your life being disrupted, I think I saw an email tomorrow, Chestnut's getting paved, is that right?
right. Well, the good thing about that is the machinery will drown out the rooster. So, well, I appreciate your attention.
I
Thank you.
appreciate- And thank you for coming.
Sure.
So, Jack, if I may ask, so if somebody already has one, then does that get grandfathered in, or how does that affect it?
No, because it's not a zoning regulation per se. If you have a shed that violates the new setback, you can keep it there. But
This year, you gotta get rid of the rooster.
this.
Did we want to discuss this
did
under the
not become-
discussion?
Yeah,
Little later?
when we started talking about it,
Yeah.
yeah, no problem.
Randy, who's running this meeting?
You are, sir.
Okay. We're
Just trying to kick you
We're
under
gonna
the table.
carry it over to the discussion.
Okay.
All right, so the meeting is still open to the public. Anybody in the courtroom? Seeing none? Megan, at home?
Anybody online would like to make a public comment in regard, nope. Anybody would like to make a comment in regards to agenda items only, please raise your hand now. Don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Megan. Item number 5 on your scorecard, ordinance 586-26, salaries and wages ordinance, introduction, first reading. Randy, maybe this is your world?
Sure. What this ordinance is doing is taking a look at the salary and wages for each category that we have in the township and either adjusting the low end, high end, depending on what that is. There are 2 positions that are being eliminated in this ordinance. Those are Public Safety Director and Executive Administrative Assistant in the Police Department. This also takes into consideration minimum wage increases that the state has incorporated. So this is an ordinance setting the salary ranges, not necessarily the salaries, which will be done by resolution at a later date.
Great summary. Any questions for Randy from the Township Committee? Seeing none, can I have a motion to pass on first reading ordinance 586-26?
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato,
Second. Yes. Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes, Vic, this isn't Jersey City. You don't get to vote twice.
Oh,
Strike that from the record. Ordinance 587-26, introduction, first reading, calendar year 2026, model ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank. That's always a question. It gets a little bit convoluted, but this is standard. I turn it
Yeah,
over to
this is-
Randy.
This is a standard ordinance that we do with every year with the budget. This year, the appropriation budget is set at 2%. It will increase the appropriation cap to 3.5%. If we do not utilize the cap in its entirety, it'll go to what's called a cap bank that can be used in later years.
Great summary, as always. Any questions for Andy from the TC? Seeing none, can I have a motion to introduce and pass on first reading ordinance 587-26?
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato,
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. Ordinance 584-26, this is amended, an ordinance regulating the removal of trees and providing for the preservation of trees throughout Long Hill Township and amending Chapter 23 of the Township Code in its entirety and supplementing Section 150 of the Township Land Ordinance entitled Development Design Standards. Jack, this is you.
Yes.
Hopefully your summary is shorter than what I just read.
It probably will be.
Mr. Mayor, before the attorney says anything, the liaison to the Shade Tree Commission is not here tonight. And I know she was reviewing and she has given Jack
Okay.
some comments, but I understand that she's still going through the
Okay.
ordinance. So I'm not 100% sure if we talked last meeting about, let's review this, let's get all the changes corrected and make sure it's correct before we introduce. This is a long-awaited ordinance, so I'm not sure if one more meeting would hurt, but
Okay to
certainly-
carry it?
Yes.
certainly Jack can summarize.
I suggest we do these changes, because any of Teresa's will be
Yes.
relatively minor, and these are a lot of
Okay.
changes, and then we'll have a cleaner copy
Okay.
going forward.
Okay.
But this is subject to any changes that Teresa wants to make. I can go through them briefly. I changed some of the nomenclature from big trees to landmark trees, which is what the Shade Tree Commission uses now. That was throughout the ordinance. Let me just scroll down here. It's a long ordinance. Bear with me a second. The ordinance is about 50 pages. Actually, this version still has the contractor registration in there, but I checked, did some legal research, and I think that's been preempted. Yeah, you show it's still in here. Must not be the late.
That is the latest one that you gave me because it was highlighted.
Oh, okay, so it's coming out. At the last meeting, Megan had commented that it didn't contain the tree contractor registration that our current ordinance has, but that's actually been preempted by the state, who now regulates tree contractors. So-
Okay.
So we can't, we don't need it in our
Okay.
ordinance, and we can't
So
have
it's
it in our ordinance.
redundant, I guess? They
Yeah,
already,
and we can't have it if they've preempted something.
okay.
So, I also changed the penalties. The ordinance as written we can only impose penalties in accordance with state law. And what we do in all our chapters in the Township Code is refer to Section 1-5, which sets forth the penalties for any ordinance violation. That way, if the state law changes, we don't have to go through every section and make those
Fair enough.
changes. I also took out some of the trees and vegetation that should be taken out according to the Shade Tree Commission.
Are you looking for the red stuff?
Yeah.
Go back the other way.
You should
Oh,
have
the
a
other way.
copy.
I think I covered it. Oh. Oh, that's a comment
Okay, cool.
that talks about the state law that preempts. So that's why, but all of you have copies of all these changes. So I would move, if you don't mind, to amend the ordinance as outlined in the red line version and continue the public hearing to the next meeting. And as Randy said, if Teresa has any other changes, we can make those, but at least we're making progress.
Any questions for Jack? So you need a motion and a vote
Motion, second, and a vote.
with the amendments as stated.
So moved?
Looking for a second.
Second.
Megan?
Committeeman Liberato,
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dorsey,
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. So item number 6 on the agenda.
Mayor,
resolution-
could you clarify, are we on an amended ordinance with the tree. Is it first reading, second reading? Just recap for the public where we are.
It's second reading, and tonight, the township committee made some additional amendments, so the ordinance will be carried for public hearing at the next meeting.
That will be the second reading, is that what you're telling me?
Correct. It's the first reading on the ordinance amendments, as amended.
Okay, so it doesn't say that here. So this was the first reading of the amended ordinance.
Correct.
And next meeting we'll have the second reading of the amended ordinance.
Correct.
Please, in the future, let's highlight that so we don't have to have these questions.
Thank you, Chuck. So now, item number 6 on your agenda, resolutions, 26-124, resolution for self-exam for the calendar year 2026 budget. Randy, I mean, is this something you describe, or, I mean, it's standard, but,
Yeah, 2 out of 3 years, if you meet certain requirements set forth by the state of New Jersey Division of Local Government Services, you can do a self-exam for the budget year. As the certified finance officer, I do that certification. Although I don't do it blindly, I do send the budget to the auditors for their review and comments. They have made some comments and so forth. Just for clarification, this does not mean that the state never sees our budget. We still have to file it with the state, they will still review it, but we don't need their review to move ahead for adoption in June.
perfect. Megan, so what happens here, right? That's not on the consent agenda. Do you need a vote? Okay, so we take a vote on each individual one above the consent. 124 and 125.
They can do that together, right, Randy?
Yeah, you can do that
let's do
You
together.
can ask for a motion.
All right, so now that you've explained it, it can then
So,
be part of the...
let me explain the
Yeah, might as well.
125.
Yep,
125 is the introduction of the municipal budget. This is only the introduction of the municipal budget. We will have a presentation at a later date. The adoption of the budget and public hearing will be on June 17th. As always, the budget is never available prior to the introduction of the budget. Once it is introduced, it will be put on our website tomorrow as introduction of 2026 municipal budget, along with a user-friendly budget and for review from any member of the public. The public can also come in and get a copy of the budget from the clerk's office.
Well said. Well, we still have 3, so we can. Any consent agenda items, so that's item number 7, and including the 2 that Randy just described, 124, 125, that you would like further
No,
discussion
they
on?
should
I
be
would-
voted
I
on
would-
separately.
Oh, they should be, all right, that's
You
why.
could,
it
you
couldn't
could
be-
vote on 24 and 25 together.
All right, so any questions for Randy regarding 26-124, 26-125? If not, looking for a motion to approve same.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato has
Yes.
stepped out, so he'll
No,
abstain.
No, Liberato is here.
Oh, sorry. Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza has stepped out, so he'll abstain. Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. So now, item number 7, consent agenda resolutions, 26-126 through 141. Any resolutions that you would like further clarification or need to recuse yourself? Seeing none, looking for a motion to approve same.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Liberato.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza is abstaining. Deputy Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia.
Yes. And here comes Mr. Valeza.
Meantime.
Are you getting yourself psyched up for the recreation report?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
He's firing himself up.
Who's back there hitting his head against the wall?
Play heavy metal.
If you're ready, you can go first.
Let's do it.
did you forget to pay the bill?
Electric bill's gonna be hefty, so.
Every other
Oh.
month.
I'm sending the
Anybody
wrong
else
check
have
to the wrong
anything?
utility company.
Let's see.
Did you want us to go to a different report as you're looking this one up? Matt? Oh, no, sorry.
Sorry.
We're ready.
Go.
You're good.
Vic, you're on.
You're
All
up.
right. Let's get right to it. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Beginning May 1st, 14 communities across Morris, Union, and Essex counties will unite to launch the second annual Paint the Town Green campaign in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month. Coordinated by the New Jersey Crosstown Mental Health Coalition, participating towns including New Providence, Berkeley Heights, Chatham, Fanwood, Florham Park, Long Hill, Livingston, Madison, Mendham Borough, Mendham Township, Mountainside, Summit, Scotch Plains, and Westfield are coming together with a shared mission to raise awareness, expand access to resources, and reinforce that mental health matters. So, when you see those green ribbons around town, know that we are trying to bring attention to the cause and emphasize the importance of prioritizing mental well-being. Oh, how did that
You okay? Get your phone.
look at that?
And I want to, just a shout out to New Providence and Berkeley Heights. They started this 5 years ago. They started the mental health awareness program 5 years ago, and then they've added towns. Long Hill Township joined 2 years ago, I guess, maybe last year. And now it expanded up to include towns in further north from us, so Florham Park, the Mendhams, as you see. So this is a critically important issue, especially for our young people. Anybody who would like to put up ribbons anywhere, we continue to put up ribbons around town. You'll see them near the schools, you see them in Cantor. Thank you to Lisa and her team. Thank you to Al for partaking in this. And Chuck, oh, thank you. The first volunteer who went out, I think at, what was it, 5 a.m., Chuck?
Sunrise,
Yeah.
6:42 that day.
6:42. And Chuck went out there. He was the first person to put up the ribbons in his town. He was the first person to volunteer to do so. So I want to personally thank Chuck. Chuck Arentowitz, for those who don't know him, but I think, Chuck, your reputation precedes you, so everybody knows who Chuck is. And Troop 56, I guess it would have been, they put up a bunch of ribbons. Scott Lavender put up a bunch of ribbons. I know, I guess, I don't know who did the painting in Cantor, their ribbons. Recreation did that. And anybody who would like some green ribbons to put in an appropriate part of town, please let me know. There are more to go around. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Vic.
That's okay. Moving right along, please mark your calendars for Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th. We will have our parade beginning at 9:30 a.m., followed by a Memorial Day service at Central School. Anyone interested in marching in the parade should contact the Parks and Recreation for more information. Registration is now open to get your membership to Sterling Lake. We will be opening the lake on Saturday, May 23rd for swimming, and then be open every weekend until June 20th, when we begin to be open 7 days a week. Consider joining us on May 28th for a Red Cross First Aid class. Upon completion of the class, participants will receive a certificate good for 2 years from the Red Cross. The cost is only $39 per person, and registration is currently open on Community Pass. This is probably the last time this class will be offered to the public until the fall of next year. For all Long Hill students in grades 5 through 7, mark your calendars for our Spring Lake Dance on Friday, June 5th. Chaperones are needed. Remember, this event does not run unless we get our chaperones out there with us. Interested in having some fun with us? Please contact the Parks and Recreation Office to let us know if you can help. More information is also available on our website. Summer camps registration is now open on Community Pass. Check out the website for more details. Registration is open until May 31st. Don't delay. We can't wait to make some great summer memories with the kids again. Parent meeting for summer camps will be on Wednesday, June 3rd at 5:30 p.m. in the library. We got the interference here. Okay, Rock On Long Hill with the Dog Days of Summer Concert Series. We just announced our summer lineup. Park rules reminder. All bicyclists shall ride with reasonable regard to safety of others. Bicycles cannot be left lying on the ground or pavement or propped up against trees, curbs, etc. in any place where the other person may trip over it. When entering Matthew G. Cantor Park, bicycles must be dismounted and walked on pathways in the presence of pedestrians. Mini bikes, all-terrain vehicles, mopeds, snowmobiles, dirt bikes, and all other motorized vehicles, including e-bikes and e-scooters, are not permitted on any athletic fields, park areas, or other recreation areas except when authorized by the township. And that is Township Ordinance 297-12. Want to get more involved in the community? Consider joining the Recreation Advisory Committee and have some fun. Please contact Lisa or Bill in the Parks and Recreation Department for more information. All right, and last but not least, in Parks and Recreation, we believe that every day should be Earth Day. Please encourage everyone to take good care of their parks and keep garbage in its place. And that concludes the recreation update. Thank you.
Now, that last graphic was great. I love it. It's updated. I think AI, that looked like an AI one.
Matt?
What?
Library's open 7 days a week. All right, it still is. They have lots going on for all ages. Let's see, just slide 3.
Yes.
All right, we have the Tiny Art Community Art Project. Pick up your tiny art canvas today. Paint and return to the library by the end of the month. And art displays will be in June. So if you want to do a little art project, bring it in, they will display it. Dance class for local business this Friday, lots of fun. Free concert at the library, Flamenco Fusion, this Saturday, May 16th, 12 to 1. We have multiple online art talks each month. Register online or with the front desk. Our annual bike parade in Cantor Park is upcoming. Thanks to the Long Hill Police for providing a bike safety briefing before we start to ride. And finally, Pat Wells will present on the American Revolutionary War in New Jersey in person. Our 250th anniversary programs and events are it's part of it. Lots more to come, but this will be a good one. So come out and see Ms. Wells on Saturday, May 23rd, 11 a.m. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Matt.
You're
Frank?
welcome.
I have information to share. I attended first HPAC meeting as a new liaison on May the 6th. And, thank you. I just turned it back on. Thank you. Anyway, the meeting was attended by the HPAC Committee, Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, on May the 6th. And it was nice to introduce myself to them. Some of them knew me, some didn't, so it was good to kind of get a feeling for what they focus on about historical items related to the town. And actually, one resident was there about applying for a plaque for their home, which had historical significance. And their meetings are open to the public, so anyone can attend them when they have them once a month. This calendar's on the website. Their next meeting is June 3rd. It's held at 7 p.m. at the Old Millington Schoolhouse. And if you have any interest in history and want to know more about our town's history or the homes, It's a very good wealth of knowledge. The members there have a lot of information to share, and it was a good experience. And I encourage others to attend.
Frank, thank you.
That's all I have for the moment.
So, a couple of quick points. I had the pleasure of meeting with the Moms Club earlier this afternoon. They had a lot of great suggestions and comments. Some things that may be practicable, some may not be, but they're going to give me a list. I will sit down with Randy. So, thank you. A shout out to the Moms Club. Big compliments to the police department. I see Chief Chimbriello here. They spoke incredibly highly, and I concurred with the work that the police department does. So, thank you. Chestnut, there was an alert that went out. I don't know if everybody receives Long Hill alert. Chestnut Street between Central Avenue and Winding Way will be closed through traffic from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. for milling and paving, 5:14, 5:15. Then paving will be 5:18, 5:19, weather permitting. Local residents and buses permitted access when safe and practical. Officers will be on scene to assist motorists. I received some questions. Myersville Road, Randy, we're going to be meeting with NJ American Water sometime in the next week, 2 weeks, somewhere in there. We did, okay. So maybe you can give an update, and which will include Myersville Road. I live in Myersville, for those who don't know, and obviously some people have come up to me and said, the road's a mess. Well, of course it's a mess. They just put in a sewer line. Jack, you and I discussed this. NJ American Water, who's doing the work. So from Long Hill Road to the Circle, and then from the Circle, when that happens, all the way to the Chatham border. When the sewer line goes in, the road has to settle, so it cannot be milled and paved immediately, but it will be curb to curb. So for those, you're just gonna have to put up with that for a little bit, including me. I drive that road multiple times a day. And last but not least, in my head, and I did listen to the meeting, last meeting from London, the idea to combine the Beautification Committee and the Open Space Committee sounded good in my head. I thought it was a good idea. In retrospect, it was not a good idea. The Beautification Committee and the Open Space Committees do excellent work. And I'd like to just pull whatever I had recommended and go back to the way it was. I would appreciate if all the volunteers on each of those committees were to stay. I know some people had expressed concern and maybe they would step down, but I would encourage those to stay. And I especially want to point out the Open Space Committee. Even I have said publicly that there's no more open space in town to purchase. That is not a correct statement. There are properties in town that can be looked at and should be looked at. So I think the Open Space Committee should get back to what it was doing. If they ever want to cross-pollinate ideas and attend each other's meetings, that's great as well. One of the things that I discussed with the Moms Club and we've discussed publicly is what we have called Central Park across. That's in motion. Vic, thank you. I know you've done a lot of work on that. The trails are they going to be built at some point this year, or is it? Yes, that's what I thought. If you want to give an update, or you want to give an update, that's good. Now, that's the initial stage. It's not just the purchase of that property with the intent of developing something there. Isn't just the walking trails. You've got about 75 acres across. Used to be called the Curse property. You have 40 acres that go behind the Sterling Hotel. So that's about 120 acres. Only about 7 or 8 can be developed, I think, Vic.
Yep.
And so the Recreation Department, Open Space, Beautification, everybody, public, you have ideas. The Moms Club, they're very forthcoming with ideas and suggestions, what they would like to see, and that's great. It's your park, you're paying for it. So please, if you have ideas, you can reach out to me directly. And speaking of which, our emails are on the website. If you want to reach out to the Township Committee on any topic, feel free to send an email. Mr. Pavlov, you had sent, and Mrs. Pavlov, you had sent an email, and there was a response. In this case, one that I think was a positive one. So please, if you have ideas, we're not mind readers, and we encourage you to reach out to us. So please do. That said, I think we are now up to what we've all been waiting for. The administrator's report, item number 9.
The mayor already mentioned Chestnut Street being milled and paved. Right after that, the first phase of Long Hill Road will be started with milling and paving. hopefully next week, weather permitting, but we will get out alerts with the specific dates on that. Long Hill Phase 2, the pre-construction meeting is set for May 21st with the contractor that won that award. New Jersey American Water, they're still doing sewer work throughout the township with the sewer extensions. They will be providing information to us that we'll be posting on the website with more focused dates, times, and the years of the different phases. Keep in mind when they do extensions to the sewer system, there's a lot that goes involved, including DEP approval. In some areas, there could be pump station requirements, force mains, and so forth. They are completed on South Northfield Road. They are currently working on Myersville. There is another extension off Myersville that is in the next phase or the phase after, because again, that's requiring some acquisition of property for a pump station and so forth. They believe that they have all that will be settled shortly, but they will be giving us information that we'll be putting up on our website that will give you more idea of the scheduling and so forth. On last Wednesday, so that was May 5th, right?
Oh, 6th, I think.
May 6th.
May 6th, I'm sorry. May 6th, the Somerset County was here for their Valley Road Bridge Crossing project. This is a joint project between Somerset County and Morris County. Somerset County has taken the lead. This project, they anticipate going to construction probably in 2028 and into 2029. They figure an 18-month project. There were residents here expressing some concerns, asking questions, and giving some comments and recommendations as they saw it. Not only the engineering department from Somerset County was here, the engineer consultants were here. They took the notes, discussed some of those items, and we'll go back and look at that. So I think it was an informative meeting. They do have a link on our website for you to go to. They have not updated it from the meeting, but I expect that to be updated shortly, that residents can go on and take a look at that. Jersey American, well, okay, planning and zoning, we have 6 applications before the Board of Adjustments for various residential improvements. 44 Plainfield Road submitted an application for amendment, but they are not complete with their application yet, so they're not scheduled for a hearing yet. There's 1 planning board application that was submitted, 12 zoning permits were issued. In the construction department, the main thing that is going on with fire prevention and construction is Gillette Crossing. They have started. You could probably see they're up on the first floor, which is the second floor of the first floor above the garage, and they're moving forward. Clerk's office issued 32 dog licenses last month, issued 1 yearly parking permit and 568 daily permits, and they had 122 other registrations, license request process. There are food trucks in Millington every weekend in the summer. Fire prevention, there were 28 business inspections, 21 food truck approvals, including the street fair, 18 home sale inspections. Mr. Huber, Fire Marshal Huber, issued a $3,100 penalty for excessive false alarms. Unfortunately, they have not paid their penalty, so they will be getting another penalty. And if they don't pay the combined penalties, they will be getting a summons to go to court. There were 18 fire incidents where 4 investigations were completed. And for code enforcement, they had 35 complaints that came through the office. All 35 complaints were investigated, and notices and/or summonses were sent out as appropriate. 4 temporary sign permits were requested that had 43 signs put up around town. Finance, we had collected $2,491,557.26 taxes, $45,383 in delinquent taxes. Other revenues were $88,294. Parking utility, we collected $4,927. Total disbursements, the local school tax was $1,594,553, and that's paid on a monthly basis. Regional school was $637,868, paid on a regular monthly basis. Other disbursements were $2,417,763. In case you're following, yes, that's about $1.2 million higher than normal. That's because of the pension payments to the state. Parking utility, we paid out $2,310. Municipal court, there were 76 complaints issued, 63 township ordinances, 13 other. There was 132 tickets issued, 26 parking and 106 non-parking. There were 158 tickets pending at month end, which consisted of 87 pending trial, 10 pending DMV, 23 eligible for FTA under the 14 days, and 38 other. 79 complaints were pending at the end of the month, which consisted of 42 pending trial, 17 outstanding warrants. Collected during the month of April was $10,051.07. Township share of that was $3,762.58. So DPW, I have 2 things. Next week is bulk pickup week. We just wanted to remind everybody that it does not consist of metal collection or electronics collection. 6 items per household. If you have metal, you can contact Public Works for the schedule to pick up metal, and electronics recycling is done at the Public Works. We are, due to our DPW director, we are starting a new recycling program for mattresses and box springs.
We got it going.
That is on our website under DPW. You can call DPW, you can either drop it off or for and this is all fee-based, there is nominal fees, or they will pick it up at your household. I can tell you for the residents, it is cheaper to have DPW pick it up than the junk guys that advertise. So it's a good bargain for the residents, and I give a lot of kudos to Al, because he's always looking for additional recycling, and Matt always challenges him. So Deputy Mayor and Al make a good team with the
He's been
recycling.
working on this for a while, so I know he came up with the idea, or not came up with it, but he learned about it, he's been working on it, so Al, thank you for getting that through. Now we just gotta find something new to work on.
Is that the 16th, right? Is that the 16th item of the full menu, I think? 16th to 17th. And I know Matt, Deputy Mayor Dorsey, has been heavily involved in this as well.
So for police, they had calls for service in April 2,462, which totaled year-to-date 10,768. Wow. There were 15 motor vehicle accidents, 3 with injuries. 1 resulted in a DWI, and all the others, thankfully, had no injuries. So that's a pretty busy month for accidents. Some notable events in the police department. On April 18th, they had the PBA Annual Fishing Derby at Sterling Lake, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I heard it was a big success. Everybody had a great time. Officers were in attendance also at the street fair, talking with the residents and talking with the patrons to the street fair. So they always do a great job in police, community policing, as I call it, in the street fair, and getting out there and answering any questions residents have and helping the people out. I think that's enough there.
Randy, that was a great report. I appreciate it. Shout out to the chamber for the street fair. That may have been the best ever. I had my world famous sausage and peppers. So thank you. And I just want to circle back one thing to the NJ American Water, the work they're doing. So far, they've spent, I think, $50 million, 50, believe it or not, in the first 5-6 years, and they're budgeted to spend another $50 million over the next 5 years. So that's a lot of money that's going into this. One of the reasons, and for the work that's going on in Myersville and elsewhere, we did require in the bid specs, which were, and the bid that NJ American Water had submitted and won, was that they would sewer an additional portion of the town. At that time, we had 88% of the town had been sewered. The rest was septic or leach field, et cetera. They are required to get to 95%, so that's what some of this work is. And one of the challenges, which we didn't know then, I think the state changed the law regarding septics. And unfortunately, a neighbor of mine found out the hard way and reached out to us, but there was nothing we can do because it's a state law and it's not enforced, but the Board of Health has to say. You can no longer, the resident had received a bid to fix his septic, which was maybe $3,000. Unfortunately, if you're selling your property, you cannot fix an old septic beyond a certain number of years. I don't know what the number of years is. And so instead of $3,000, I think it cost $50,000 in order to make the transition. So my point is, anybody who's going from septic to sewer, this is a huge win, because for the very reason I just said. Even if you can't put a Band-Aid on this septic system anymore, it has to be replaced. And
Now,
that's
you
state law, not ours.
You mentioned a good thing about New Jersey American Water and connections now, that they're expanding the system for people that couldn't connect because of the sewer ban. You need to contact New Jersey American Water to get permission to connect. They do have phone number on your water bill and sewer bill that you can call. They will be providing us this week with some better information. I would ask residents that if you were calling New Jersey American Water, use Long Hill Township. Do not tell them Millington. Do not tell them Gillette. Their operators are having a difficult time when you say Gillette or Millington or Sterling because they reply, "We don't service you." They know it as Long Hill Township. They're trying to educate their operators to accept all the villages, if you will, and educate them that, oh, yes, all this is part of Long Hill Township, but please refer to it as Long Hill Township, and that would help smooth things along. And you do need to get a plumbing permit in from our construction department. I would tell you not to connect if you do not have permission from New Jersey American or the building department, construction department. There are hefty penalties. So make sure if you hire a contractor, make sure that they do get the proper permits and everything, because New Jersey American Water will find you. So just that. And if you have any issues, please contact our offices. We will certainly help you if you are having difficulty with New Jersey American Water.
So it's not like splicing into cable or something?
No,
like
it's
that.
not like splicing the cable, nope.
All right, so now we are item number 10 on the agenda, Chapter 17 update. Jack, that sounds like you, I think.
No, it's actually from the construction official. Oh,
I think fire marshal.
oh, fire, I'm sorry.
Ah,
Fire official.
so we're going to turn to Randy.
So this is just cleaning up the ordinance, Chapter 17 of the Fire Code. Some terminology has changed over the years, and the Fire Marshal Don Huber is just asking to basically clean up the language. That's all it really amounts to. I don't believe there, and I'm looking at it, there is nothing, no significant changes or anything. I do, I don't see anything where there's any significant change. It's just
It's
all,
not
it's
uncommon.
just all
We
language
clean
change.
up
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cleaning up.
language.
Yep, this is,
Pretty
a-
often.
you know, the state puts in new things, and we have to clean up the language.
Fair enough.
I'll have it for the next meeting.
Beautiful. HR Bill 2289, who wants to take that one? You, Lieutenant Caffey? No? Which one is it? It's HR Bill 2289.
Where'd that come from? I don't know.
Print out the backup for him.
Megan, you want to take this one? Or can we ignore it?
No. Hold on one
Or
second.
carry it? since-
So this was an email that was circulated by Bob Duthaler to Randy.
I think this is regarding federal regulations. that-
Correct.
Right, that are looking to change the communications laws at the federal level that will impact us locally, believe it or not. And the JAG organization is very against it. We'll bring it back for the next.
Right, I was
meeting.
going to say, in
Yeah.
fairness,
I'll get-
Teresa's not here
I'll-
anyway.
yeah, I'll get a summary because.
Fair enough.
From what I remember, but I'll have a summary from Bob Duflower that
That's fine.
explains it all.
So we'll carry it to the next meeting, and we'll have a fuller discussion, and we can put what it is in the agenda, so even the public can read,
Yep,
et
yep.
cetera. All right, the so-called chicken ordinance.
Yes, let me preface my remarks, before I make my remarks, that we're following the procedure that the Township Committee adopted to discuss ordinances at one meeting and then introduce it at the following meeting so that the public gets a chance to comment before it's introduced. The original purpose of this ordinance was to change the setbacks required for chickens. It's currently 40 feet, and so what, the first thing this ordinance does is that it changes that to the setback requirement for the district in general. The second thing it does is that it limits the number of chickens to 4, and Mr. Pavlov will be happy to know that it also prohibits roosters. So those are the three main points of this ordinance.
And something you had said earlier to Frank's question, it's not, if you have a rooster, it's not grandfathered.
That's correct, because it's not a land use. And it's, the land use, you'll see it's got two parts. One, it refers to the land use ordinance, but then it cross-references to Section 320, which is under police regulations, general police regulations. So there's no non-conforming use for a police regulation.
So it would fall under their purview and not,
Not the police department.
Okay.
Police regulations just means that the ability of the township to enforce those kind of ordinances.
so
that
if that
regulate.
ordinance were to get passed
Yes,
on the books, then anybody who has a rooster per se would then be in violation of that.
that's
And
correct.
they would have to get rid of it.
That's correct.
To be clear, any residential property, a
well-
farm can have a rooster.
Yeah, farms,
So
first of all,
this
they
doesn't affect any farm property.
no, and
Because I like my rooster
Yeah.
in Myersville.
plus farms are also
He
protected.
doesn't go all day.
Yeah, farms are also protected by the Right to Farm Act, so we couldn't
Oh, so that's
prohibit
a whole
roosters.
separate entity by
They have state protection, so we couldn't, but this
But
only applies to
Strictly in
residents.
a residential area.
That's correct.
Not pertaining to farming.
In fact, the name of the section is chickens in residential zones, so it's only residential zones.
All right, so we'll introduce for first reading at the next meeting.
At the next meeting.
Vic has a question, sorry.
Yeah, so, let's say that there are existing roosters, or in the future, someone thinks it's a good idea to have a rooster.
Yes.
Would that be code enforcement,
Code-
who would be taking
That-
care of that?
That would be code enforcement who would enforce that. The term police regulations is misleading. Those things are not, in most cases, enforced by the police, department, but rather by the code enforcement officer.
Perfect. So to avoid frustration, a resident having that issue would call town hall, ask for code enforcement,
Cor-
and action would be taken in that manner?
Correct.
Perfect.
Of course.
Yes.
question is, so a current owner of a rooster would not be grandfathered?
That's
If this-
correct.
If this passes? is
Because
that
it's
correct?
not, it's
Okay.
not a land use regulation.
Um,
It's a police power regulation.
Okay, so then, I think back to a story I heard about Jeff Bezos, where he's in violation of something, and they just keep giving him summonses, and he just keeps paying them. What,
Good question.
okay, so if it's, I don't know
ev-
what the penalty would be if it's in code violation. If someone decides to pay the penalty, do they get to keep the rooster?
Every day is the new violation.
Okay, so it
So-
would be, okay, so
Right.
that,
And Judge Bride, if you come in for the third or fourth violation, is going to increase the fine.
okay, so that
proportionately.
answers my question. So we're just gonna have to extend our patience a little bit longer.
Just a little bit.
For 2 readings, first reading and second reading.
But you want to make sure that the penalty actually has some bite. It's not a $10 penalty or a
Right.
$50 penalty.
Right.
There's real penalty, real ramifications.
Right,
And they have to
Okay.
go to
We agree
municipal,
with you.
they have to go to municipal court, to a court hearing.
okay.
A summons is issued
Yeah.
for violation of this.
Okay, well, I appreciate your attention, very much so. Thank you.
And thank you for the history
Thank
you're
you.
telling the surrounding towns, because you don't want to be too onerous on property owners either,
Right.
but if we're the only town.
Right,
so
well, I mean,
don't-
that's,
I
I
don't really
can't,
care about other
right,
immediate vicinity, nobody allows it, so.
right, that was my, that was my education, was that, it just, when the problem first arose, we kind of relied on common sense would take over, and if month after month after month, it hasn't, so then we had to act a little bit. Okay, thank you again.
Thank you.
So we're good? And it's funny, you use common sense, or I would say common courtesy for the next,
I think you have someone else coming up now.
okay, sorry.
Good evening. For those in the room that don't know me, my name is Ciro Durso, formerly of 76 Longview Terrace, currently of 23 Winding Way, 91 Central Avenue, and also 10 Bay Street. I'm a lifelong resident of the township. I have chickens. I have had a chicken now for 11 months, and I rehomed a rooster about 10 months ago. I wish one of my neighbors would have been neighborly and come to me first before shooting off emails, calls to the code enforcement. I first got a nasty gram from the township about the chickens in February. I'm a contractor. I'm also in public safety for 21 years. I'm a volunteer in this township for 22 years. I'm also the shill interviewee for Mr. Barr for the director of OEM a year and a half ago. Still waiting on that email that I didn't get the position, the courtesy email, Mr. Barr, or the fact to say, hey, thanks for interviewing. Either way, I digress. I've gone to zoning twice, have brought my survey in, which was rejected twice because it's not the correct survey. Since then, I've called the original survey company. I bought my house in 2007. Unfortunately, all they have on record is my invoice. So now I have to go get a second survey and present it to zoning just to tell me about the setback, which I already know. They said it was 4 to 6, and I asked days, and they said no, weeks. So I'm about a month and a half from getting a survey to provide to zoning. Tomorrow I have a 24-hour shift. I have to be in court at 3 o'clock. So I'll discuss this with Judge Bod further and let him know what's going on with my application. But this all could have been avoided. I'm not a good neighbor. I'm a great neighbor. For 42 years, my company has beautified this township and the residents in it that live here. So I just wish we could have been a little bit more neighborly about this. The fact that you're now not allowing or potentially not allowing, I guess, livestock in a residential neighborhood. We'll see what happens, and we'll see exactly what comes of it. But I just wanted to put it on record there that I've gone to zoning. Unfortunately, You know, it's a challenge, because I'm sure if you've done it, the members that you've hired are difficult to work with sometimes. Mr. Andres has been pleasant. When I leave him a message, he calls me back and I get an answer and whatnot, but he said, listen, you're on the right side of things once this application is through. Now an email gets sent, and looks like it's not gonna be the case. So just wanna air out my grievances. I appreciate your time, and thank you.
Wait, Chi, what's wrong with the surveys? Somebody else had a similar issue.
It has to be original, the large sheet, and it's gonna cost me roughly $1,000 without the markers.
So they want like a sealed
Can't
copy
be,
from an engineer?
it's sealed, raised, so they could set it back, you know. I sent 3, and they said, no, 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 no.
And what did you actually submit?
I had my application, they saw my
No,
survey,
the survey you actually submitted, what was that from?
the copies that I had in my file when I did my closing.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's got a fax on it, it's been that long.
All right.
You
Okay.
can see, it's a
Yeah,
fax.
That's right, no, 'cause some
Yeah,
similar
some
came
of
up
us have been here a while.
2 months ago.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next item, the garbage can ordinance, and this is an example of what I would consider not what was just said, but common courtesy. It came to our attention that there's a part of town where a garbage can or a recycling can has been left out for weeks on end. So we're gonna update the ordinance, I believe,
Yes.
to say you have to bring it in within a reasonable amount of time, like 99.9% of the residents in Long Hill Township do. I don't like having ordinances to enforce common courtesy, but it appears we're going to have to.
Feels like we're becoming an HOA.
Do we have any enforcement mechanism whatsoever? Because I was prosecuted in Tewksbury, it was just about a year and a half ago, and this guy just absolutely refused to bring his garbage can in from the street, absolutely refused. So they just kept fining him daily. I don't know what happened, I don't know if you ever paid it, but they had something on the books, but this wasn't this was an issue with purchase. He would leave it there for days and weeks at a time and bring the garbage down to the street.
Same
Seems like more
situation.
trouble than,
Can't we just take his garbage can? It's abandoned property at that point.
Actually,
in
that's
this
not as
right of way.
crazy as it sounds.
No, it's
is
in
it?
the right of way, it's abandoned property, in my mind, that might get the fix. My concern, I don't know if it was Frank or Vic said about the HOA is, I don't like to legislate for one person.
Yeah.
That's the problem, there's
I
one
agree with
jerk,
Matt.
I don't wanna legislate for one person and punish everybody else. But if there's some other way we can punish that person, I don't have to give him, like, I don't know if he can get, there's a local, not a local ordinance, obstruction of a public passage ordinance. Not an ordinance, it's a state law, but I don't know if that applies to people, or if I block the street with cones or something else, I think it could. So we can always hit him with the obstructing of public passage ordinance.
yeah, I thought of that too, Matt, but in looking at the photograph that was included, it didn't look like it was obstructing anything.
Well,
It
let
was
his attorney figure that out in court, but.
Yeah, well, it's up to you guys. The recommendation was, made, that we do this.
Well, look, I just want it rectified, and
Yes.
and I agree with Matt. I hate putting an ordinance in place when 99.9% of the public, I wouldn't even say complies. It's just
Common
respects.
courtesy, they do it.
So I don't know. I'm the one that asked to look at an ordinance, but I'm open to ideas.
It's totally up to you guys. It's
Well,
not,
the code enforcement also, we looked at, I looked at the ordinances that he has available to him, and quite honestly, the ordinance is questionable, because we would cite him for storage of,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
cans in the front of a house. It's not really the front of the house, it's at the
Well,
street.
and that was meant to prevent people from storing their garbage cans in the front yard.
Right.
But not for nothing, as this township knows, we live next to a 9,000-acre wildlife refuge, and I've seen on Facebook more and more bear sightings in this town. We even got garbage can out. I still remember this day. We left the garbage can outside. The garage, which typically we bring it in. Next thing I know, I hear screaming, and it was a bear
Yeah.
looking at my wife,
Yeah.
and I said, well, he's outside, what are you screaming for?
Yeah.
That didn't go over well for
No,
me.
yeah,
that wasn't-
probably not.
That wasn't a good answer.
I mean, the problem is, if you do have this, one person doing this, you have no means to enforce it at the current time.
I know, and I
No,
know,
I
I hear
understand
what
your
you're saying,
position.
Matt.
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe, a 2C 33-7, obstructing highways and other public passages.
Yeah. But I think the proofs there would be
Well,
difficult. I mean, it's,
that's their problem, not mine.
If it's in the roadway, right, and it's
Yeah.
not sitting on a sidewalk, right, it would fall
Yeah.
under maybe a police matter. No?
Well, two
Well,
seasons
I
police
think,
matter.
we don't
And what
wanna-
if it's sitting in the driveway, at the end of the driveway?
That's on their property, on obstructing a public passage.
right.
And it doesn't fall
Then
under
the other ordinance comes in,
maintenance or
destroying the
anything like
front yard,
that,
no?
where,
No,
That we think it's,
yeah, look, as much as I agree with Matt, I just think this needs to be resolved, so.
I mean, you can put it on for introduction, and see what the public thinks too. It's up to you all. Like I said, I don't vote.
Yeah, let's
so-
put it on, okay, my recommendation is we put it on for introduction and have a more robust, conversation. I agree with everything Matt's saying, but it needs to be resolved.
Yeah, it's gotta get fixed, that's the problem.
Right.
And this is a very liberal, ordinance in that you can't put it out before 10 or 1 PM on the day before garbage pickup, and you have to pick it up no later than 10 PM on the day collection is made. So a lot of towns have 6 o'clock the night before and 6
And
o'clock
by
the
the
night
way,
of.
there are
so-
people that go away and the can may
And the
stay there for
commuters,
2 or
yes.
3 days,
Well,
but the
they're-
neighbors understand. Very often, the neighbor will take the can in for 'em.
Yeah, and they're not gonna get a summons.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like people park in the street when their driveway's being sealed.
But in this particular case, this can has been left out for months, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
The only thing I would recommend is we change 6 AM to 5 AM to make sure people get the can out there, because and I would remind people, because we've had a lot of phone calls recently, well, I usually put my can out at 10 AM, and if there's a new driver, as we had this past week, he did the route different. So the people didn't have the garbage can out there and didn't get picked up. So don't get used to a specific driver, because if drivers get changed, they could do the route differently. So I would recommend 5 AM to make sure there's no issues of people getting missed in the garbage day, on the garbage day. If you guys decide to move forward.
Just to
with this.
push back on that a little bit, to put it out the night before as the bear problem I mentioned earlier, then, it's not a perfect time. So we good?
Yeah.
So we'll introduce it at the next meeting, and Matt will have a comment, and hopefully members of the public, maybe some members of the public will comment tonight. But we'll carry that. All right, so old new business. Announcements, and Vic, you already did this. The Memorial Day Parade, May 25th, starts at 9:30, but I would strongly encourage people to get there a little bit early, about 30 minutes early. Dennis is guaranteeing good weather again, as he did for the Main Street Fair. That is a wonderful, wonderful event. So anybody who is in town.
Yeah.
What, Bob?
I have not done the street fair for the past 2 years.
I know, but you gave us good weather.
Have to thank Gary Giannakis.
Yeah, but he has nothing to do with weather, your weather.
Yeah.
Nope.
You relinquished your,
Connections with
the man up top? You relinquished your title? Well, we had good weather, a little chilly, but, so the Memorial Day Parade, again, May 25th, it's a little bit earlier due to calendar, but 9:30 AM, try to get there at 9 AM. At this point, any other announcements from members of the township committee?
Fire?
Say what?
No, they have anything fire?
We'll be doing hot dogs after the Memorial Day Parade, correct?
At the Sterling Lake, right?
You're asking us?
Vic, that's your,
Fire farm.
that's your
We're going
word.
to the firehouse.
Oh, we're going back to the firehouse.
Yes.
Oh,
That was my
okay.
understanding when I talked to
Ow,
our chief.
I'm sorry. Is that still on?
Frank's cooking.
Is the hot dogs at the firehouse?
Yeah. Chief Shooter, Chief Tuma said that we will be doing hot dogs at the firehouse.
We will be. All right, so why don't
Following the parade.
you make the announcement? You are a volunteer fire member, so you make the announcement.
So we will be providing hot dogs with the town's assistance after the parade at the firehouse. Sterling Firehouse.
Sterling Firehouse.
321 Somerset Street.
Thank you,
A lot of
Frank.
fun.
Thank you, Frank.
And
So
the mayor will be there handing out hot dogs and the condiments.
that is correct. Nobody allows me to cook. My
Yeah,
wife
not
doesn't
allowed in
allow
the
me to
kitchen,
cook.
not in the kitchen.
Nobody allows me to cook. So now the meeting is open to the public. You know the drill. Mr. Sandow, but you still have to state your name and address.
My name is Dennis Sandow, Is this on?
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Dennis Sandow, and I live in Millington. And I sometimes go away for the weekend and put my garbage can out before I leave. And when I come back on Monday or Tuesday, it's still sitting there, unless the garbage man has thrown it onto my lawn, which is okay, because if it's not on the street side of the curb, what difference does it make where it is? So what I'm gonna have to do now is I'm gonna have to hire one of the neighborhood urchins and to tell him that if he sees an empty garbage can in front of my driveway, what he must do is kick it 10 feet past the curb, so it's not in the right-of-way anymore. Because once it's on my front lawn, that could be my normal storage space. You can't dictate where I store my garbage can.
That's already prohibited, Dennis. Sorry to say, that's already prohibited.
I actually keep it normally inside the garage, but I'm not gonna tell the neighbor kid how to take it into the garage when I'm not home. So just putting it on my front lawn should be adequate, as long as it's not in the right-of-way or across the curb in the street. And I don't know how many days in advance I can put it out. That becomes the bear problem. But once it has been emptied, it's no longer a bear problem. Also, I would suggest that we ask the scavenger contractors, both of them, to please honor the town ordinance, which says no garbage collection before 7 a.m. The county in particular sometimes gets to my neighborhood before 7 a.m. and makes a lot of noise.
Garbage or recycling, you said?
Huh?
Recycling or garbage? Because they're different companies.
Yeah, I know. I said the county.
Oh, that's
That
what I
would be the
thought. So that's,
recycling.
county is recycling, okay.
The garbage usually comes any damn time they want, as late as noon, or as early as 7:15.
There's already an ordinance. that
They,
says that's
for
already
some
prohibited.
reason, they don't operate on the same route every week, or they don't start the route at the same time, one or the other. But that's not the reason that I'm here. The reason that I'm here is to talk about the big lie that the mayor gave about 35 minutes ago. And that lie is, we want to hear from you, send us an email. Now, I'm here to tell you that earlier this year, unbeknownst to the members of the old Beautification Committee and the old Open Space Committee, both those committees were disbanded for reasons unknown and unstated. And a new committee called Open Space / Beautification was created in its place. And it was allegedly an advisory committee. Now, in my dictionary, an advisory committee is constituted by the Township Committee in order to give advice to the Township Committee. So after our first meeting in April, which was about 4 weeks ago, I sent an email to all the members of the Township Committee, specifically addressed to each one. And that email listed 9 items of advice that the Open Space and Beautification Advisory Committee had discussed at great length and were willing to offer up as advice to the Township Committee, which in fact had constituted the Open Space and Beautification Advisory Committee. Well, surprise. Not a single member of the Township Committee even acknowledged that they had received the email, much less put it on the agenda for further discussion or caused action to be taken in the form of resolution. One of the items, for example, in our advisory listing of 9 items that were ignored. One of those 9 items said, does the Township Committee really want to pursue the Veterans Flags program? Or is that just more work than you want to bother with? Tell us, because we'll stop talking about it if you're not interested in pursuing it.
We do currently do that.
We do currently what?
Veteran flags. In fact, we just had one delivered this week.
Yes, and I noticed that Veterans Flags is on the front page of the town website, far ahead of street openings and repavings in terms of what's really of interest to the town population. But setting that aside, there were 9 items. None of them have appeared on tonight's agenda for further discussion or for resolution, or even as a return email from one of you, members of the Township Committee, saying, yeah, Dennis, you might be right about that one. Let me make sure it gets brought up in executive session. But nothing. I got absolutely nothing. So I'm wondering, what is the purpose of an advisory committee if you don't even acknowledge advice when it is given? I'm not saying agree, I'm just saying acknowledge.
And perhaps that's fair, but I have an advisory role in my house. I give advice to my wife, and she ignores it. So, you know, just because you give advice doesn't mean we're going to do it.
But what
We
is the point
appreciate
of
the
having a
advice.
bunch of people?
I should have acknowledged receipt.
What is
That
the point
true.
of having a bunch of people talk about issues where the committee has asked us for advice? We spend a lot of time doing that, a lot of time writing it up, and then it goes into a black hole.
No, but I think in this particular case, what happened is, it was my brainchild, not any other member of the Township Committee, to combine the 2 advisory committees. In retrospect, I did not think it was appropriate, so we're going back to the way it was. I'll go back and look at that email, and I'll go over that, we can discuss it, or maybe at the next meeting, you can bring up some of the ideas, or perhaps an advisory committee can come in, like you're doing now, like we used to do. We
Well,
can
I
discuss
could
it.
actually challenge you in the comment session on each of the 9 items. I will not do that. I'm only concerned about being ignored. And if, in fact, the advisory committees are going to be ignored, then do away with them. As it is, we're all down for 1-year term, which means our terms are only got another 7 months to go. And at the end of that, who's going to stay?
No, that ordinance never got adopted.
Right. Pretend, go back in time, back to the future or whatever. What happened over the last 3 months regarding these 2 committees is gone.
According to the website today, there is a web page for this committee. And every member of the committee is listed as having a 1-year term. And there is a place at the bottom where you can click to send an email to the committee.
All right.
And nobody on the committee gets those emails.
Randy's gonna ensure tomorrow with Colette if that'll be fixed as
If someone
soon
would
as
actually
practicable.
talk to the advisory committee chairman, he might be able to offer some suggestions as to how to handle this, instead of trying to invent everything yourself. Like, for example, I noticed the executive session tonight lists possible acquisition of open space in Myersville. Interestingly enough, your Open Space Advisory Committee did not make any recommendation, and in fact, your Open Space Advisory Committee doesn't even know where those addresses are. And if in fact you want to consider open space purchases in Myersville, you might want to ask the advisory committee to study it in great depth and offer you some advice. That's what we're there for. And if you're not going to use us, if you're not even going to listen,
We're listening right now.
I await a flood of responsiveness. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to come to the meeting a month from now and recommend that the advisory committees be disbanded,
Agreed. That's fair.
with one exception. HPAC actually does a real job. And because nobody on the township committee knows anything about historic preservation, you pay attention to them. But you guys are all experts on recreation, you're all experts on open space, you're all experts on beautification. So what do you need advice for? We'll give you that advice in November.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Any other member of the public present?
I can't hold a candle to that.
That's a mouthful.
All right, so anyone at home, Megan?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Motion to adjourn to exec session with no further action.
Thank you, everybody. See you on Memorial Day.
Thank you.